Hello, everyone, and welcome to another game showcase here at IndieX 2023. My name is Patricia, and I'm here today with Matteo to show you and talk about Siheyuan. Did I say it
Yeah,
correctly?
yeah. That's very good pronunciation, actually. Hi, Patricia. Hi, everyone.
Hello. So, this game. um, Let me just say that I've seen the trailers before I even started playing it, and the one that made them is a genius. I laughed a lot with the trailer, so congratulations on that. I don't know
Thank you,
if it
thank you.
was you.
Oh, they're all homemade. It's with me and my team. So we decided to take care of the trailers too. We actually made three trailers. So we called them like the official one, and then there is the stylish one and the silly one, which is the one I suppose was the one that made you laugh.
Oh, I saw two of them, I think.
Oh, okay.
Only two.
But
So,
thank you.
so Matteo, who are you and what is the name of your team and what do you do at your team?
Yep. Yeah, so our studio is called We Are Muesli. We are based in Milan, Italy, and we've been into games for the past 10 years or so. We started with narrative games mostly, like visual novels on some kind of weird themes, especially talking about visual novels. We made one about Hieronymus Bosch, Dutch painter from the
Ah, okay.
15th century, and another one about Italian resistance, and another one about the city of Palermo, Sicily. So our main focus has always been on, so to speak, historical, cultural, and artistic topics. So that's what we've been focusing on. Then in the past 5 years or so, we've also kind of extended the kind of games that we've been making, not only video games, but we actually made free live escape rooms, a
Oh,
game book. Yeah. So as of now, as We Are Muesli, we are very interested in trying to, let's say, tackle the game medium in any of any nature, both analog and digital, and mostly mixing these two aspects together. And now with CAU1, we are back with digital video games. So yeah,
but
that's a bit of story.
just a curiosity. These game rooms are in any way connected with your online games or just different projects with different themes?
Now there are different projects. Actually, we drew some connections, but not with our video games. Like for instance, of one of our live escape rooms, we then translated it into a game book, basically. That is based. It's an actual book, like 200 pages, and it also has a web interface that you have to interact with. In order to go through the game and solve the puzzles and stuff like that. But so far we haven't made we haven't traced a straight direct connection between a video game of ours and an escape room of ours. But who knows? Maybe in the future.
Are these books kind of like what we used to have like 20 years ago or 30, those RPG books where you would roll the dice and stuff and move across pages, but now with a digital interface, like you said, it's
Yeah,
something in that
that that is definitely an inspiration.
that's so cool.
As I was saying, we've always been into narrative games, so like branching game books, choice-based game books have always been an inspiration for us. But in that case, the inspiration is more like escape room, solving puzzles and stuff like that, rather than progress through a story through your choices. It's more like a puzzle game than a more a puzzle game than a narrative game. So
That's really cool. We are Muesli. Like you guys have awesome projects that I didn't know about. I looked for you guys a little bit and I didn't saw that anywhere. But now I'm really curious. I'm going to follow you guys everywhere because that's amazing. Really, I think we should have more of that. I don't know.
thank you.
like escape rooms and stuff in events and in your booth. That sounds like amazing. But let's talk about the game we are here to play, because we could be here all day talking about that, everything else, because that really sounds really cool. So guys, if we could show the game right now, because we I would like to everyone to see that when you start this game, the how to play is scrolling, and you learn how to play. The game teaches you how to play right when you start, and I think
Yeah, it's a little bit the inspiration there is the good old attract modes of arcade video games, where there was always something looping on the screen in order to attract the players, even when there was no one actually playing at the cabinet. So since it's a kind of puzzle arcade game, that is why we decided to have these screens that explain a little bit about the rules of the game, and all the different things that are hidden in the 13 levels of the game.
I think that's really cool. The game is really colorful and catchy, and we haven't even started to play it. And there's one thing I would like to ask you about the name of the game. So,
Yep.
Siheyuan, what does it mean?
Yeah, Siheyuan is the Chinese word for courtyard. That is where the inspiration for the game comes from. Actually, a few years ago, almost like 7 or 8 years ago, we were asked to design a playable installation for an exhibition at Beijing Design Week in China. That was tackling the issue of Siheyuan, which is a peculiar architecture structure, architecture model of the old ancient Beijing. That is basically what you see reproduced in the game as the layout of the game. So there is something in the middle, and a common area in the middle, the courtyard, or the abstract representation for the courtyard, if you will. And around these middle areas are four areas which are again an abstract representation of the four houses and the four families living together around this courtyard. So that's where the inspiration for having this cooperative multiplayer game, which is actually playable also as a single player game, comes from. So that's a little bit of what is behind the Chinese title of the game, and also this kind of Chinese inspired mood of the artworks that you see.
I see. So you're telling us that the theme actually came first. Isn't that harder to to do? To I mean, to
You know
create a
that.
game, you need to go on that first. You need to pick up that and do a game instead of just going for the game first and going like, oh, this suits the theme or
Yeah,
something.
yeah, yeah. I know, I perfectly know what you mean, but I don't know. As a game designer, I'm the game designer here at We Are Muesli, together with my partner and co-founder Claudia Molinari. I think that having creative constraints is always a positive
Hmm.
thing. If you think of game jams, for instance, it's
Oh.
all about constraints and having a theme, something that you didn't know about until the actual game jam starts. Then you have to focus your creativity on that specific theme. That is something I really believe in, both thinking of game jams, but also our studio. We are pretty accustomed on also working on like applied video games. So that, and that's a field of game making where you're always working on a very specific brief, and you have to first you have the theme, and then you try to think of the uh, best game mechanics that can actually work and convey what you want the game to convey actually. So that was a massive inspiration for us, as I was saying, that Chinese theme was what made us think of, okay, It's a game that has to be cooperative because we want to have to reproduce this feeling of being together and talk to each other. If you're playing, of course, the game in multiplayer mode, yeah, that's where the inspiration comes from.
That's a really nice answer, and I think you are right when you think about game jams. Yeah, that makes sense, and I'm glad you were able to do it and make it. And there's a question for you in the chat
Yep.
asking if you are planning to come to the physical event here in Portugal in November.
Personally, I'm not. I won't be able to come over. We are still talking with. Actually, the game is going to be is published by Fantastico Studio, which is another game studio here. Game studio and publish an indie-friendly publisher here in Italy. They're based in Rome. So we are still considering for someone to come over for the live event. Let's see.
Oh, that would
We
be
would
really
love to.
cool. Yeah,
Yeah, we would love to.
and for the game to be available for everyone to play. Just another thing. I was seeing everything here in loop now while we were talking, and it shows the modifiers, and some modifiers are still with a question mark. And
Yep.
actually, I'm only seeing the ones I've already seen. The other ones will show up the name in time when I play these levels.
Yeah. If
So
as
cool.
soon as you unlock a new level, the modifiers, which are these kind of uh, power ups or power downs, so to speak, that change the rules of the game for a few seconds during the levels. As soon as you unlock the level when they are first introduced into, you're going also to see the effect of the modifier in the attraction.
That's a really cool detail. Really. But, well, I think now it's time for me to show everyone what the game is all about because, well, I have already played it and I've seen the trailers. And you see the trailers, you get a notion of what the game is all about, but you really have to play it to understand how it all works, the difficulties and the how to deal with it. I think this game has a learning curve that at the beginning it's not that hard, but then it gets a bit harder. You need to learn how to deal with everything. So I had more records here for everyone who is seeing, but when I've changed from the demo version to this one, I think I lost them. But it's okay. We can totally build our records again. So this game has several levels, and a lot of them are locked. And well, we have to get good to unlock them, right? Only when we make when will these levels unlock? By the way.
Yeah, as soon as you complete the previous level, the following one gets unlocked. So it's a progression from level one to the final level, so-called ultimate Siheyuan, which is of course the hardest level of them all, which is level 13.
Sorry, I wasn't able to reach that level. So, here, I'm
No,
still a
I
noob.
think if this is I don't know, maybe it is the beta version that does not even include all the 13 levels, so that is definitely not your fault.
Ah, okay. So, let's play level 1. When we start the game, we get to choose how many players will be playing this. And for now, it's all local, right? Or
Yes. It's 100% a local multiplayer. At showcases in the past, we've had, of course, people asking us for an online multiplayer version, which could be tricky, a little bit out of scope, if you will, since we really like the idea of having of having two, three, or four people together, actually being sharing the same space, playing the game. But who knows? Maybe that is something that is a feature that we will take in consideration for future versions.
okay. And are you planning on releasing this game on, for example, Nintendo Switch? I'm asking this because if the purpose here is to have a local multiplayer game, well, Nintendo and also the other ones. Uh, sorry. Also invest on that. I think this game would look pretty cool on a Nintendo Switch to be able to play with everyone. Is that a plan?
Yes, definitely. We are prioritizing the Steam release as of now. But speaking of consoles, Nintendo Switch is definitely our number one choice, and it will probably come later, like 2020, early 2020.
Oh, that would be amazing. And now I'm going to play level 1 because everyone now wants to see what this game is all about, right? So I've chosen one player and we have two ways of playing this game, standard mode and focus mode. I don't know about you, Matteo. I find focus mode really hard for me. Sorry.
Yes, that is no. That is something that we realized that is really according to the player's taste. I definitely agree with you. Standard mode is the one that we actually conceived Siheyuan with. So I'm actually also that is how the game was born. So that is my favorite choice too. But a few gamers, while we were testing during the past few months, were asking us like another choice in terms of controlling the game. Basically, the main difference is that in standard mode you control more areas at the same time,
Yeah.
which means that if you have tiles that are both in the upper and lower area, you are actually going to control them at the same time. Whilst and some players, especially like very hardcore players, wanted something more precise,
Yeah.
wanted something that is definitely more difficult at the beginning and more tricky to get. But then, if you get into what we call the focus mode, you have more precision in the controls, so you have to actually choose the area that you want to be in control of, and you actually move the tiles only when they are inside that specific area. So that is why it is tricky, because basically
Yeah.
there is one more you're controlling one more button or key on the keyboard, but it is more precise. So there are pros and cons in both of the modes.
Yeah.
I would go with standard mode too.
Yeah. Easier learning curve, but probably not so good in the upper end game. A tougher learning curve, but you will be more precise in the in the late game. For now, I'm going to use standard mode. I think it works really well. And on focus mode, I scream a lot while playing. Oh no! Oh my god! No! No! Not so. No, we don't want that. We want Zen. So let's go with
Yeah.
standard mode. So we just play with the arrows or with the that moving letters. It's perfectly simple, right?
Yeah. There are no action buttons. Basically, it is just about moving the tiles as you're doing right now.
So the game starts really slow, one tile spawning in each lane. These are the yellow tiles. Want to talk about these ones?
Yeah, there are special tile whose purpose is to actually like delete everything, all the tiles that they touch. So they are super useful when it comes to correcting mistakes that you might have done while playing the game. Actually, the goal, as you're doing everything perfect as of now, so there's no need of yellow tiles. You're letting the tiles fall in the matching color grid. So we have white tiles in the white frames, red tile in the red frames, and so on. You're doing it perfectly. And the yellow tile is both for correcting mistakes, like the one that you just made, and then you let a yellow tile fall there, and now the frame is already free, and you can let the right color tile fall into there. But they can also be tricky, because sometimes, especially when the game gets very well done, that's a great time. Yeah. Very well done.
I really like puzzle games and stuff like this, so I'm your girl on this one.
You were super good. And yeah, that level one has we mentioned modifiers before. Level one has no modifiers, so you're just playing the game as it is, with just the goal of letting the tiles fall in the matching color frames. But then from level two onwards, things get a bit more tricky and interesting at the same time.
Yeah, I think you did a great job on level one not having anything, because it's important in this kind of games to build up people's confidence. You know, you play this, you actually manage to do it. You may not do it at the first time. I didn't, because I was like, oh my god, how do I play this? But then on the second attempt, I actually finished it. Took a while, but finished, and you build up your confidence. You don't move right away from the game saying, "Oh, I'm so bad. I'm never going to be good enough to do something at this game." So, yeah, level 1 is just perfect.
Thank you.
And level 2, it's okay. It's medium, and there's also a learning curve. For example, the first time I finished level 2, it was like almost 15 minutes of going around and destroying stuff and putting everything in the wrong place. But you learn the speed, you know, the dance of the game, because you can move some tiles without moving the others and move them all at the same time when you want. So you get in the groove, in the dance of the game. So I think,
that that's a great definition. Getting the dance of the game. I really like it.
yeah. And well, have you guys showcased this game a lot in conventions in Italy?
Yeah, we've actually globetrotting a little bit with this game because, as I was saying, it was born and showcased for the first time quite a lot of years ago in Beijing, China. That's where we realized that it was not already meant as a commercial release. It was born as something specific for that specific event. But then we realized, seeing people of any age, both like children and people who were totally new to video games, and actually having fun playing it. And that's where we realized, okay, we might do something bigger with this little installation of ours. So that's when we, for instance, we added the modifiers, we designed more levels, and we had a chance to showcase it again as an installation, as a playable installation at some festivals around Europe, like for instance. It was showcased at Amaze in Berlin. It was showcased at Indicate Europe in Paris. Actually, also Indicate in LA. We were not physically there, but the game was there. And and after having all of these chances of like live showcasing the game, and having people playing it and see how the game was somehow working and see it with our very own eyes. That's when we decided, okay, let's make an actual commercial video game out of it. And our last chance to showcase the game live was last month at Tokyo Game Show. We were part of the selected indie AT area, which is the
Oh, that's really
indie
nice.
area of TGS. So yeah, that was our latest showcase of the game. And I always love to see people playing the game, especially in multiplayer mode. There are so many dynamics that always emerge when we see groups of people playing. Right now, you are playing single player mode, which is definitely the hardest one. While for instance, in 4 player mode, each player only controls one area, so you don't have to like split your brain. in four different areas, as somehow you're doing right now. But you can focus on your area. But of course, you cannot just focus on your area. The purpose when you're playing Siheyuan in multiplayer mode is all about passing the tiles from one area
The
to
other
another
one.
one, and you actually pass the control of the tiles to the players who are standing around you. So it turns into a very like talkative experience, and players they're all, oh, okay, I have a black one. Who needs the black one? Send me a white one, and stuff like that. So the game has no words or almost inside, but there's a lot of conversation going on when you have people playing it in cooperative mode.
This is hard. This is a really hard game, but it's very satisfaction. As yeah, there's a huge satisfaction when you actually manage to play it properly. I'm doing kind of okay.
No, no, you're doing it okay. As I said again, single player mode is definitely pretty difficult. So sorry.
Oh, it's okay. Don't worry. So, are you guys thinking about, I don't know, having like a versus mode, time attack mode? Probably not, right? Because the game is supposed to be a happy cooperative experience.
That is not the first time that we've been asked for, like for instance, a competitive mode. Again, as of now, we like the game as it is. It is a small game, and we're happy with the kind of like experience that it can offer as it is to players. But yeah, we're taking notes, of course, as any game designer should do always, of all the requests and feedback that we are receiving, and like adding a little bit of competition is one of those things, competition between players, and not just with okay, setting our best time in the levels. You're almost there.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm trying my best.
I know
Oh,
you're doing great. The thing with the levels, like for instance, this one is also on top of the modifiers. You also have more than a single grid to complete. So as soon as you completed the first grid, there was another one around it, a bigger one, which appeared. And here in level 2, we have you have to complete two grids, while in some of the following levels you might have to complete three, or even in one case, final level, four grids. So
four grids. Oh my god, you
yeah,
are going to kill
yeah,
me. Um,
yeah. Oh, and that's like for instance, there was just uh, a moment where the yellow tile actually erased a right tile, but then now you made it.
Yeah, and sometimes that's a thing I find really fun on this game. Sometimes you have a yellow tie, but you are already controlling two other ones on the places you want them, and you have a yellow tile going, and there's nothing for the yellow tile to help about, and you need to go like, okay, what can I remove that it's easy to complete next? So typically, I would try to remove the color of the lane I'm in, or at best the other ones next to it, because the one opposite it would be the harder
Yes.
to just complete. So sometimes it's all about minimizing what the yellow is erasing at the moment. So there's a lot of things going on here, really. I find
Yeah,
it
yeah,
really
yeah.
really nice.
That is definitely a pro way of thinking. What you just mentioned, you start trying to figure out how to, as you said, how to minimize the difficulty of the game, if you will, because one thing that we didn't mention is that tiles, each area always spawns tiles of one specific color. So
Yeah.
there is the black tiles always spawn in the same area, and the same is for the four colors. So as you go through the game, you you get better and better with all these tips and tricks like the one that you just mentioned.
Yeah, and the player feels that. I felt like I was improving every time I played, and that's really important, and that leads to fun, not frustration. And well, I I suppose that's similar. You get similar feedback on events maybe when people play this. I usually play a lot of puzzle games, so I'm like a medium player on this, but new people and stuff, do they feel like they are learning, they are getting better with each game they play?
Yes, definitely. That is something that we also saw, not only with the actual feedback from the players, but one thing that happened quite a lot of times at live showcases was someone coming over, playing the game, and enjoying it, and coming back like in a few hours or even the following day, if it was a multi-day showcase, bringing some friends and wanting actually to explain the game as if they were like somehow they were feeling they were in charge of the game because they felt actually that they were getting better and better. So they were like, okay, let me guide you somehow through the game.
That's really
That was
nice.
something that was happening by itself. That is a very great feeling, I think, for a game designer to see this to see that your game has this positive effect without having to
Yeah.
push it too hard. That is something that naturally emerges, basically.
Yeah, people being happy to the point that they want to share it with their friends, and maybe let me show you that I can do a better time than you did. Ha ha ha. This is a game that you can, if you wanted, you could actually have small competitions going on those showcases, because the timers actually get written in the record table. So there's there's a whole world of competitive that you can also introduce one day, if you guys want, if you feel like that could be another way of enjoying the game. I think when I look at this game, I think about other games that I've played, and you could always add like a weekly challenge and a ladder or something like that. Have you guys ever thought about that?
Not yet, but definitely that is something that we could take in consideration. Again, having this short leaderboard, so to speak, for each level. Again, it comes from the old arcade days, and that is something that we are kind of fond of. Also, having just a few letters for inserting your name. We opted for four letters instead of the three traditional one because when you're playing like with four players, each player can choose just one letter of the name. So you also have to figure out what your collective name is and find a strategy in order to have a proper team name if you made a good time.
That's really sweet. I hadn't thought about that, about the implications of being four letters, but that's really sweet of you guys. That's a very good idea. We can totally make a team name of our starting letters. That is amazing. And I don't know
Yeah.
if you're seeing the chat, but the review so far of this game are this is madness, madness, but insanely fun. Such a creative game, so fun. But I thought, I think that this third guy deep down thought madness as well, but only said creative game, so fun. But and then you have a nerve wracking and fun. So I think people resonate well with this game. It's a happy game. It's a challenging, fun game, and I think the music it's spot on, because it has a rhythm, and it's so important to move the tiles at the precise moment, because they are really following up each other. So the music for me, it's spot on to to contribute to the way you are playing the game.
Yeah,
Really.
thank you.
Yeah.
Appreciate all the comments. Yeah, it's a game that has, as you wonderfully said before, has its own pace, and the music somehow tries to contribute to this pace. This pace can be pretty almost meditative at some times, where there's you especially at the beginning, if you are a very good player, you might want to, like, for instance, oh, how can I how can I accelerate the tiles? How can I let them fall faster? A bit like having that controlling Tetris. If you are sure that that is the right spot for the Tetris piece that is falling, you definitely let it fall faster. But we wanted, as I said, the game to have its own pace, that can change even dramatically from level to level, and you have moments of calm and moments of that are kind of quiet, where just a few things are happening and you can almost like relax while the game and the tiles fall by themselves. But then it's something that you might regret at later stages of the level, because it can get pretty frenzied. So yeah.
Yeah. It's really chaotic sometimes. And Asphodel is asking if you think that this game can be somehow converted into a board game, because there's a lot of people here that are team board games as well. So do you feel
Yeah,
that?
again, thank you very much for bringing this to the table, because yeah, that is something that I've always had in mind. A few people actually made this very same comment,
Hmm.
but yeah, since the game, as I was saying, has its own pace, that is something that might work well with the idea of having rounds, when you have like to move the tiles, to have a very specific movements that are allowed within that round, and then a next round, maybe the tiles just advance by themselves, but in each round you have to choose how to move them left or right in the different
Yeah.
areas. So yeah, actually, we actually have a mahjong set here at the studio, which we specifically bought a few months ago in order to somehow use mahjong tiles to prototype a physical board game version of Siheyuan. So the
That's really
answer is
cool.
definitely yes. I would love to work on a board game version.
Please do let us know when you get that on Kickstarter, because I like to back up my indie board games.
For sure, for sure. It would definitely become a more strategic. Rather than like super compelling as the video game can get. But yeah, I think something interesting may come out of it.
Oh, and Seixas is asking if you are working towards making this game Steam Deck verified. I haven't tried it on Steam Deck. I don't know if we can play on Steam Deck
If
actually.
if I'm not wrong, it should already be Steam Deck verified. That is something I should have like to double check with the guys at Fantastico. But I know they are also focusing on Steam Deck, because it could be like a proper environment for the game. So yes, thank you for the feedback.
And that makes sense because these are the kind of games that I usually play on my couch because I want to be relaxing, at the end of the day or something. And for relaxing, I choose a nerve-wracking game, of course. But it's something for you to enjoy, to relax in your couch, in your bed. Something I always feel like puzzle games are more portable. They need to be portable for you to enjoy it everywhere, and that makes sense. I'm going to
Yes,
try
definitely.
it, and uh, yeah. Now I have another question for you. So, how good are you at playing this game? Have you already finished level 13 on your own?
Yeah, actually, I am very good at this game. Also with all the testing and all the showcases. I'm still kind of amazed at how I'm still having a lot of fun, like playing Siheyuan, because I think it's something that every game maker sooner or later starts to. I don't want to say that starts to hate their own game, but somehow you might have that contradictory feeling. That is something, of course. We love every game designer, every game maker loves the game. Hopefully, loves the game that they put effort and passion into. But I don't know if any game maker still actually is still actually able to have fun while playing their own game, especially after months or years that they've been working on. But I'm still having honestly, I'm still having a lot of fun playing CA1. So I got like awfully good at it and managed to complete level 13 as in single player mode. It is kind of tricky for me too, but yeah, it is. It's 100% confirmed that that is doable.
That's good to know. I haven't
Yeah.
seen all the levels yet. I do hope there are some records online of you playing this. I'm going to check, but
Okay.
yeah, that's nice. I understand what you mean because at some point I don't think it's all about being burned out of your game or something. It's like you are the one creating the magic. If you know all the tricks, it kind of loses the well the magic of it the delight. But in this case, it's different. In this type of games, it's different because it's always going to challenge you. It's not really about the magic, it's about getting better and enjoying it. Well, it's a different situation, but I do get what you mean. And well, I'm glad that you still like to play your game a lot, and there's still room for improvement. That makes there's hope for us all to get better at this game.
Sure.
So well, this time the our time passed really fast, and it's time to wrap up this. But I had a wonderful time showing this game and playing this game and talking with you. And is there anything that you would like to say to everyone who is watching about you, about your studio, your game? Go ahead.
Yeah, Siheyuan is on Steam as of now. Will be released very soon. So yeah, of course, go wishlist it and hopefully play the full game version. There's 13 levels that await you, and again, hopefully, we'd like to think that with this little fresh somehow game can be something that is enjoyable, especially if you have friends you can play it with in a local co-op mode. That is definitely the best way to experience it.
Yeah, thank you for the suggestion. I will try to do that. I will try to find some victims to play with me. No, I'm just kidding. I think it will be a nice experience, a better one, a different one. So thank you so much, Matteo, for being here with
Thank you,
us
Patricia. Thank you.
and
Thanks
showing us.
everyone for all the positive comments. Thank you very much.
Stay tuned for the next game we are going to have, and this is going to we still sorry we will still have a few games to show you today. So stay tuned for the next ones. See you later.